If you're gonna live underneath my nose, you better give me something good to smell. Do you wanna like fall in love or something? Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. That was super sweet of you. Oh my goodness, the vibes are immaculate in here today. Look, you can see my little tree in the background here, and wait for the surprise second tree. We don't have a large Christmas tree, we have two small Christmas trees, and honestly I feel like that suits us perfectly. Bert has different parts of the room where he can sit and enjoy the tree. Here is a picture of Bert enjoying the tree. It's so sweet, it's so wholesome. The holiday vibes are immaculate this year, and I feel like I've really been trying to like decorate extra this year, you know, and put on more holiday decorations, because unfortunately I don't get to go home and visit my family this year, which I'm very sad about. But you know, I'm trying to keep the spirits high, trying to keep the Yuletide gay, and you know, just trying to keep the holiday vibes going strong. But that's not what this video is about. You did not click on this video to listen to me brag about having two Christmas trees. No, you clicked on this video because you, like me, have an interest in the best indie makeup of 2020. Wow, that was one of my worser theme songs, but don't let it reflect this video because this will be one of my better videos. I am manifesting it. So I recently uploaded my best of 2020 video, and I had a ton of great makeup products in that video that I discovered this year. Super proud of that video. I feel like I had a lot of good stuff going on in there, and I did include some indie makeup in there, but there were some products that I didn't feel like I could include because I hadn't been trying them long enough, but that I still absolutely love. So I wanted to make an entire best of indie makeup dedicated video just so I can gush on and on about all of the wonderful indie makeup that I tried this year. So if that sounds like a topic that is interesting to you and you want to hear about some amazing indie makeup brands and some amazing indie makeup that I discovered in 2020, then I encourage you to please subscribe and keep on watching. It's coming at you right now. Alright, so first off I would like to start with eyeshadow palettes because that is what I bought the most of this year. And for every category I'm going to try to go in the order in which I purchased them this year. That way you know what I've been using the longest versus what I've been using the least longest. If I have a corresponding video on any products, I'll try not to spend too long on it because, you know, I got a whole video on it. If you want to hear more, you can watch the video. But I'll give a brief synopsis on why I love everything so dang much. So let's start with an eyeshadow palette that I did include in my best makeup of 2020 video because I've been using the longest and I know I freaking love it. It's the by Melolops Radioactive palette. I had somebody comment on my best makeup of 2020 video saying they would have been shocked if I didn't include this palette, and honestly, yes, you are so right. This palette I scream about all the time. I'm wearing the purple shade on my lower lash line today. I also use some of the purple and the blue on my outer corner area. It's just such a solid rainbow palette, and I like it because it's an unconventional rainbow palette. You know, she's not like other rainbow palettes. She's got really cool shimmers down here. The shade Beaute is one of the most interesting shades I have ever tried. It's a white with like gold and blue and green in it. It's so cool. Beautiful silver, beautiful yellow, gold. All of these matte, colorful shades blend so effortlessly. It's just such a good formula. They are incredibly pigmented, but blend out like a dream. The by Melolops Radioactive eyeshadow palette is one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes I bought this year, and by Melolops is an indie makeup brand that you should for sure check out. Okay, so the next eyeshadow palette that I bought this year, I bought this one back in August, and it is the Zodiac Cosmetics Virgo palette. So I bought this the first day of Virgo season because Zodiac Cosmetics does this amazing thing. First of all, they have a palette for every zodiac sign, which is like, as a zodiac lover and an astrology lover, it brings me so much joy to see what a good job Lisa Howard did creating each color story for each sign. Lisa Howard is the CEO of Zodiac Cosmetics. She's amazing, incredibly talented makeup artist. And come on, this is a Virgo palette. It made me so excited. This is such a good Virgo palette. I did a whole video with this, trying different Virgo makeup stuff, and this is definitely like my favorite thing from that video. Because when you look at other Zodiac stuff and you see the Virgo shade in an astrology palette, what color is it? It's freaking brown. No shade to brown. Brown is an important shade to have in a palette. but like Virgos are more than just an earth sign. I feel like everyone's like, oh, Virgo, organized, brown, boring, simple, blah, 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 blah. And like, I freaking resent that. I don't know why I'm saying freaking so much in this video, but I freaking resent that because Virgos are a lot more exciting than just earth tones, you know? We've got some color here, and look at all of these beautiful colors here. And these shimmers are out of this world. They are so good. This shade Money is freaking money. It's so good. I'll swatch it for you. I'm also gonna swatch the shade Faith because these are some of my favorite eyeshadow shades, not even just shimmer shades, eyeshadow shades of all time. So look, you have Money here, which like, look at the freaking shift. This is, how have you ever seen anything this reflective? You haven't. If you tell me you have, I know you're lying. So this is Faith. Faith has a yellow blue shift. First of all, you look at Faith in the palette and you're like, meh, whatever. Like when I ordered this, I was like, oh cool, that's like a pale yellow shade. I probably won't use it a lot. I use it a lot because it's amazing. I mean, look at it from the side, you like barely even notice it. You're like, oh, light yellow shimmer. No, 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 it's blue. How beautiful. They have such unique shades in their palettes. The formula is incredible. Absolutely on par with the by Melolops Radioactive formula. The mattes are super pigmented but blend like a dream. The shimmers are so smooth and delicious. I want to eat them with a fork and a knife. Although they're so smooth, I could probably just use a spoon. This palette is amazing. Wow, I've been rambling about it for a long time already, but the Zodiac Cosmetics formula is so, so good. Definitely check out their Zodiac palettes. Get one in your Zodiac sign, you know? Let me know your Zodiac sign in the comments below. I always ask and nobody tells me and I want to know so bad. So Zodiac Cosmetics is definitely an indie makeup brand worth checking out. Alright, so the next eyeshadow palette that I bought this year is the Copacetic Cosmetics Companion Palette, and this palette was done in collaboration with Monica Jones. This palette is amazing. Look at it. Look at how pretty. The first time I saw a picture of this palette, it was literally like, you know that scene in Romeo and Juliet, the Leonardo DiCaprio version, where they look at each other through the fish tank and it's like love at first sight? That was me with this palette. I saw this palette and I was like, me? You were looking at me? Oh, do you want to like fall in love or something? And me and this palette did fall in love because it's so great. I haven't talked about anything other than the fact that I'm deeply, deeply in love with this inanimate object. But the shades are so beautiful. I'm wearing this shade, this beautiful duochrome in my inner corner today. I'm also wearing this flaky shade on my brow bone. The flakies are so interesting. I've never seen flakies from any other brand, or at least I've never used them from any other brand. It's like chunky, almost like a glitter, but they're not as hard as a glitter, you know? It's essentially, I would describe it as a soft glitter, but they are so incredibly reflective. Monica did such a good job on this palette. It's clearly, there's so much thought put into it. Every single color is incredibly unique. The shade Megan is so beautiful. This is one of my favorite shades of all time. It's the most beautiful green shade I own, hands down. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Look at the reflection. It's so good. Everything is so good. And look at the art on the front, the beautiful dog with the flowers. I mean, it's just a beautiful palette. I reach for this nearly every single day. So if you can get your hands on this companion palette, I absolutely recommend it. I cannot wait to buy more from Copacetic Cosmetics because their formulas are amazing. The shades are so unique. The textures are so unique. This is absolutely one of my favorite indie brands I discovered this year, and Monica is one of my favorite makeup artists I discovered this year. So I'll link everybody down below. So go check everybody out because everybody's so talented and great. So check out my description. But the companion palette is absolutely one of my favorite indie makeup products I tried this year. Oh, I said I wasn't gonna talk about palettes for too long that I had corresponding videos with, but here I am talking about them anyways. I'll link all corresponding videos down below. I have a video for everything I'm talking about today. Alright, so the next eyeshadow palette I bought this year, you guys, I bought a ridiculous amount of eyeshadow palettes this year, but how could I resist the Shroud Cosmetics X Beautbean It's Freaking Bats palette? I couldn't. I absolutely could not. The shade Zero is one of the most beautiful duochromes I've ever used. I have it on the center of my lid here today. I love the shimmers in this palette so, so much. These are so smooth. How did I not know about Shroud Cosmetics before Beautbean came out with this palette? Because the shimmer formula is unreal. They're so beautiful, and each shimmer in this palette is so special. Even the ones that aren't duochromes, because these two purples are duochromes, so they're super special, but even the regular shimmers are incredibly special. Like the shade Handbook, I could cry. I could cry. I could absolutely cry at the shade Handbook. Did you see that? I barely even touched it. I gave it a light you know, little rub there, and then I swatched it, and that's just how beautiful they are. They are so pigmented, so smooth. The mattes are good too. I do struggle a little more with the mattes. These mattes are pigmented, so pigmented. I just have to remind myself sometimes to go in with a lighter hand, because I'll go in with way too much product and then have trouble blending it out. So that's on me, but I am wearing this shade Spooky in like the inner part of my eye today. It's a beautiful color story. This may be my favorite color story I've ever seen in a palette. I love all the purples, the greens. It's just so well thought out. Beautbean did such a good job on this palette. Shroud Cosmetics did such a good job on this palette, and I'm so happy that Shroud Cosmetics is getting a lot more attention now, and I cannot wait to go back and buy more products from them. I gotta go see if they have singles of their shimmers, because I would buy all of them because they're so great. But the It's Freaking Bats palette is absolutely one of my favorite indie products I tried in 2020. All right, moving on to the Ace Beaute Oceanic Palette. I bought this during their Black Friday sale. I got such a good deal on it. Oh my gosh, if they ever have a sale again, grab this palette. I promise you, you will not regret it. Yes, I feel confident making a promise because this is one of the best things I tried this year. And I love that it's a blue-green palette that each shade is unique in, because sometimes you'll see more of like, not monochrome, because obviously this is two tones, so it's not monochrome, but sometimes you'll see a colorful palette that only has certain colors in it and you feel like there's some repeats. There are no repeats in here. Each shade is incredibly unique and serves its purpose. I can create so many beautiful looks using just this palette. I mean, Mykonos is so beautiful. Actually, what I like to do is take Mykonos and then take Megan from the companion palette, and I like to layer them because they look so beautiful together. Okay, so Mykonos, already freaking beautiful, and you saw Megan freaking beautiful, and then you layer them, and it just turns into an unworldly shade of green. I don't know why I'm using my facial expressions so much today, but yeah, it's just so many beautiful shades in the Oceanic palette. Another beautiful formula. Mattes blend super easily. Shimmers are super smooth and flawless. And I know I'm being a little repetitive with what I'm saying is great about each palette, but that's because they all have the same great traits to them, you know? They all are easy to work with, smooth shimmers, unique colors, inspires me to create beautiful, colorful looks, and I'm just such a big fan of the Ace Beaute Oceanic palette, and I can't wait to try more from Ace Beaute. All right, and the last eyeshadow palette I tried in 2020 and loved in 2020 is the Midas Cosmetics Flower Bomb palette. I've been wearing this one essentially every day too, because it's oh no, shadow fell out. That's okay, I can glue it back in. It's fine. I recently bought Gorilla Glue, so it's fine. This is the Midas Flower Bomb palette. It is amazing. It has some of the most beautiful pastels I've ever used. I love all the pastel shades in it. Oh my gosh, this pastel matte purple is like unbelievable. It is so good, and the glitters in here, I'm not typically such a fan of glitter, but the glitters in the Midas Cosmetics Flower Bomb palette are so good because they're super finely milled. They don't feel scratchy when you're washing them off, so I'm a big fan that if there are going to be glitters in a palette, I need them to be like tiny glitters, so I'm a big fan of that. The mattes blend beautifully. The shimmers are amazing. It's such an interesting color story. I love the amount of different looks I've created with this palette. I mean, go to my Instagram, GlamGeoNYC, shameless Instagram plug, but no, really, you can see all of the different looks that I've created with this palette. I find it super inspiring. Formula is good, blending is good, everything's good. It's all good, baby. We love the Flower Bomb palette, and I'm excited to buy more eyeshadow from Midas Cosmetics in the future. All right, so that is it for my eyeshadow palettes. Now, before we move on to eyeliners, I do want to give a quick mention of some singles. I recently did a video trying some multi-chromes from Dawn's Eye Cosmetics. Dawn Eyes. Shoot, I said Dawn's Eye that whole video. It was very embarrassing. I feel very bad about it. It's Dawn Eyes. But I tried these beautiful multi-chromes. I'll insert a picture of me wearing this one. Oh my gosh, how pretty. One of my favorite looks I've ever done. Oh my gosh, that was such a beautiful look. I'm so proud of it, and I had so much fun using the shade. That shade is called Infatuated, and then this shade, Entrancing, also one of my favorite looks I've ever done. These are the first multi-chromes I've ever tried. Like I mentioned before, I've tried duochromes. I already know I love duochromes, and yeah, add one more chrome and that's the perfect amount of chromes for me. I love 3 chromes. I love multi-chromes. I mean, go watch that Dawn Eyes Cosmetics video that I did because it's truly amazing to see them in action, and the swatches, ugh, I mean, you'll see my reactions to the swatches. They swatch so beautifully. And then I'm also wearing their glitter today. I know I'm like becoming a glitter person. Who even am I? I'm wearing their glitter on my inner corner, and holy moly, this is the shade Amethyst. It's so beautiful. It's like a multi-chrome glitter. It looks white, but it has reflex of purple and blue and pink. It's incredible. The Dawn Eyes Cosmetics multi-chromes and glitters are absolutely incredible. I absolutely recommend checking out Dawn Eyes because they are an indie brand that I love. All right, moving on to eyeliner. If you're not new to my channel, you know that this year has been a journey with water activated liners for me. I discovered water activated liners and graphic liner, and I just like came into myself. Not to be dramatic, but I really do feel like I got into my makeup groove when I discovered graphic liner and using water activated liners, and the product that really opened that door to opportunity for me was the by Melolops Radioactive Water Inks. Again, if you're not new to my channel, you've already heard me scream about by Melolops Radioactive Water Inks upwards of 10,000 times, so I promise I won't talk about them for too long, but this formula is so good. The colors are so cool. Some of them are UV colors, so if you put them under a UV light, they like do the thing, you know, the thing that neons do under a UV light. They're so cool. The formula is amazing. The colors are inspiring. They make me feel like a real makeup artist. They make me want to challenge myself to more challenging graphic liner looks. And while I'm talking about by Melolops, I'll talk about their collab with Cut Creaser. Definitely check out that video because I go through every single color. There's a bunch of them. Cut Creaser is a graphic liner makeup artist. If you haven't heard of her, she does other stuff too. She does good eyeshadow too, but I discovered her through her graphic liner looks, and she did a collab with by Melolops, which is so fitting because she's the reason I discovered by Melolops, so I love that for her. The water inks that she came out with are the same beautiful formula as far as I'm concerned as the radioactive ones. They are super pigmented and easy to work with. She came out with awesome colors, and she also came out with a brush collection with them, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna get the brush collection because I have my cheapy little nail art brushes and they're fine. They're absolutely fine. But the by Melolops X Cut Creaser brushes are really on another level. These really upped my liner game. They at least make it easier for me to do liner because with my nail art brushes, sometimes the tips will fray and I have to like work really hard to like keep wetting them so they don't like add random lines on my eyes. Whereas these by Melolops Cut Creaser ones are clearly of a higher quality, and I think their set of 4 is $32. Absolutely worth it. And the by Melolops Cut Creaser collab was one of my favorite collabs of this year. It was so amazing, and I'm not gonna gab about it anymore because I have whole videos if you want to hear me scream and shout about them for like 20 minutes. But by Melolops, great indie brand, check them out. We love them so much. All right, another incredible indie brand that I discovered this year who makes wonderful water activated liners is Be Elegant Cosmetics, and I tried their Sweet Treats pastel liners this year. I'm wearing this beautiful pink shade here. Isn't it so pretty? I'm also wearing the blue, and I'm wearing the purple. The purple you can't see as well just because of the lighting, but these pastel liners are so good. Oh my gosh, they are so pigmented. They are so vibrant. I was afraid when I got them that I was gonna put them on, and because I am so gosh darn pale that they just weren't gonna show up well on my skin and you weren't gonna be able to see the colors. Well, no. Be Elegant Cosmetics heard my thought from the distance wherever they are located out of, and they said, no, we will not let that happen. You can tell they're pastel, but they're pigmented enough that you can still see the color. They did such a good job at making incredibly pigmented pastels. I am endlessly impressed by these. I need to go back and try more from Be Elegant Cosmetics because this was such a good introductory product for them, and they have a huge line. Oh my gosh, they make lipsticks, lashes, blushes, you name it, they got it. I gotta go back and buy more. Be Elegant Cosmetics Sweet Treats Pastel Liners is one of the best indie makeup products I tried in 2020. All right, and lastly in the eyeliner department, but certainly not leastly, is the Be Taylor Beauty Primary Aqualiner Palette. I mean, you want to talk about something that looks well loved. This is incredibly well loved. I have a bad habit of mixing colors in the palette, which I need to invest in one of those little glass palettes that you can mix on the back of your hand, because I have made such a mess of this palette, but that's because it's just so inspiring to me. And you might think a primary palette is like, primary colors, that's not as exciting as neon or pastel. No, it is exciting, because with primary colors, you can create any color you could possibly imagine. You want a pastel purple? Great, mix the white with the purple. You want a beautiful blue-green shade? Great, mix the blue with the green. You want an orange? Mix yellow with red. It's basic color theory, baby. Get you a color wheel, put it on the wall, and you'll be endlessly inspired by all of the different colors you can create. There's also a silver in here that's very sheer, so you can use it to make any of these other shades metallic. I also love that it's in a palette. I like having the little pots because when I was able to travel, it was nice to like throw a couple in of each brand to have lots of options. But when I'm actually doing my makeup, I really like having a palette here. I think it makes it really easy to work with. This green shade I would go to war for. That's not true. That's an exaggeration. But this green shade, I would certainly drive to the airport. I would certainly help this green shade move because she is that good. She's so unique. It's a beautiful forest green. Here's a look of me wearing it. Oh look, here's another look of me wearing it. I wear this all the time because it's one of my favorite water activated liner shades ever. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. I could scream and shout about this for another 35 minutes, but I'm just gonna go let you watch the full video of this if you're interested, because I had so much fun playing with it. It's an incredible formula, and B. Taylor Beauty is absolutely a brand that you should check out. All right, so our last category is gonna be face and lips. I only have one face product to talk about, so that's why I'm including it with lips. Oh look, it's the Midas Cosmetics X Neon MUA Dawn Face Palette. If you are not new to my channel, you're probably like rolling your eyes right now because I can't shut up about this. Neon MUA is a makeup artist here on YouTube and on Instagram. He collaborated with Midas Cosmetics to create the most inclusive collection of face palettes that I think has ever been created. It's so amazing. They have 4 different shades. This highlight is... I don't know what that conveyed to you, but this highlight is beautiful. It's wet feeling, even though it's a powder. It is, I mean, it's also on my face, but I just wanted you to see a swatch because it's unreal. I am just waiting for them to release like singles of this highlight because I would buy 40 of them. I'm wearing the bronzer and contour. I never wore contour until I got this palette because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what shades to buy, and Neon MUA said, don't worry, we got you, and created the most beautiful contour shades. So I'm eternally grateful for this palette. I'm so glad that this was my first ever Midas Cosmetics purchase because it made me want to go back and buy more, and I did. Midas Cosmetics is absolutely an indie makeup brand that you need to check out. Okay, we're almost at the end. For lip products, I would love to chat with you about Colored Rain. Colored Rain is an incredible brand I discovered this year. The first lip product I ever tried from them was this beautiful gloss. Oh my gosh, it's called Tropical Vibes. First of all, it smells like tropical vibes, and this shade is so interesting. It's so reflective. It's almost like a multichrome lip gloss because it looks peachy, but it has like a gold green shift. Every time I wear this lip gloss, I just feel like I'm ready to make everybody else look at me. I'm ready to stop traffic. Yes, that's what I'm ready to do because this is a traffic stopping lip gloss. It's beautiful. I love it. It's a beautiful formula too. Very hydrating. We love it. Also from Colored Rain, they're liquid lipsticks. I have been previously quoted to say that I do not like liquid lipstick. Well, it turns out I just didn't like most liquid lipsticks because most of them are drying, but the Colored Rain ones are not. The Colored Rain liquid lipsticks are the best formula I've ever tried, and I've tried quite a few, and I can confidently say this is the only formula I've ever used that is actually not drying. It's long wearing, it's full coverage, it's beautiful, but it's also comfortable. It doesn't suck the absolute life out of my lips. I don't look like that SpongeBob episode where he gets all dried out and he's like, I don't look like that when I wear these. I look hydrated. Look, here's a picture of me wearing a shade. Oh my gosh, has my lips ever looked better? Here's a picture of me wearing another shade. Who is that? A supermodel? No, it's me. These liquid lipsticks are so good. Colored Rain is an amazing brand. I absolutely want to go back and try more from them because their lip formulas are unmatched and I love them so much. All right, and the last lip product I want to talk to you about I'm actually wearing today. It's from Midas Cosmetics. It's their Icing Gloss. I talked about this in my Flower Bomb palette review video because I bought this at the same time. It's smells like funfetti cake batter. If you ever want to feel like you are a small child baking a cake with your mother, then buy this lip gloss, because that's the type of memories it invokes for me. Oh, it's so sparkly too. I'm wearing it over a lipstick today, but it's super, super sparkly. Maybe I can do a swatch here. Yes, I mean, look at that shift. You can just see how sparkly and reflective it is. Ugh, it's so pretty. It's not super pigmented on its own, but it still gives a little bit of pigment. Like, it's definitely not a clear gloss, but it's more of like a nudie pink situation, but it's not super pigmented. So I feel like it's very flexible. You can wear it on its own, or you can layer it over lipstick. It smells amazing, which is honestly 90% of the battle with me and lip products. I need it to smell good. If you're gonna live underneath my nose, you better give me something good to smell. And this icing gloss is so aptly named because it really smells like cake. So yeah, check out the Midas Cosmetics icing glosses. They are so, so good. I'm definitely going back and getting more. All right, and with that, we have reached the end of the video. Ugh, we laughed, we cried. Sometimes we got a little angry, but in the end, it was all okay. I had a great time talking to you about the best indie makeup I tried this year. Here's the deal, you guys. In case you missed it, indie makeup brands are incredible. They are exciting, they are innovative. You can sense the creativity in indie brands that I feel like sometimes gets lost in more mainstream brands, especially when you know that a company is independently owned, typically by either a makeup artist or somebody who's just really, really loves makeup. You can feel that love for makeup in their products. It's like, how can you not just look at these palettes and not just feel the love that was put into them, you know? There's so much creativity. Before I started buying from indie brands back in April, I think is the first time I purchased something from by Melolops. Ugh, my heart. But I was starting to feel like I was getting in a rut, you know? I was bored of the makeup I had. I felt like everything was just neutral palettes, which, you know, like if you love neutral palettes, that's fine, that's awesome. But I was personally starting to get bored of my neutrals and just getting bored with my makeup. I was feeling uninspired. And once I discovered the beautiful world of indie brands, I was like, oh, wow, door to outer space has been opened. I am in outer space now. I can breathe, everything is fine, but it's also overwhelming because everything is so beautiful and magical, and I'm just having such a good time trying from all of these indie brands. If you guys have any recommendations for indie makeup brands for me to try, please leave them down below. I would love to hear them. And if you have any recommendations of products from brands I mentioned today that you think I need to try, also leave those down below. I want all of your indie brand recommendations, please. Even if you feel like it's something I may have heard of before, please tell me. I want to talk to you about indie makeup so bad. I will talk somebody's ear off about indie makeup. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I talk about indie makeup all the time. I talk about graphic liner all the time. I talk about colorful makeup all the time. I do a lot of anti-hauls on mainstream makeup. I have a good time over here. I'm also getting really close to 1,000 subscribers, and I would love to hit 1,000 subscribers so that I can monetize my channel and maybe make a little money that I can put back into my channel. So that would be amazing. I would love it if you could subscribe. So I thank you so much for watching. Check out my description box for every single product I mentioned today, and any collaborators I mentioned today I will also link down below. And also in my description box is a bunch of Black Lives Matter resources. I have petitions to sign, places to donate, and ways to help protesters, so please click on those links if you have the time. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Oh, I don't know why I'm waving like this.